I present to you the 8th President of Stillman College, Dr. Yolanda W. Page.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This is such a wonderful and heartfelt moment for me, such a wonderful time. As I look out on this audience, I just want to say how wonderful, lovely, and marvelous all of you look. You're a great-looking group of people. And to the choir, I want to say thank you so much for blessing my heart and the heart of everyone who's here this morning with your lovely, lovely renditions, particularly of one of my favorite gospel songs. Thank you. To Chairman Dr. Comer and the trustees of Stillman College, who remain committed to its mission, I thank you for entrusting me to bear the seal of this sacred institution and for providing me with the continued support that is needed to ensure that Stillman is future-driven. To the Stillman alumni who have joined us for this monumental occasion, without your love for Stillman College, we would cease to exist. Thank you. To the Stillman faculty and staff who show up daily to make Stillman what it is for this community, thank you for advising, for mentoring, and instructing our students. I thank you for your commitment. And finally, to our bright and promising students, thank you for making Stillman your choice. Thank you for making Stillman your home. There are many people that I want to acknowledge this morning, so I'm going to ask right now for your indulgence for just a few moments or minutes, because if life has taught us anything over the last few years in this post-COVID time, we have to ensure that we give people their roses while we can. We cannot take any minute, we cannot take any hour, we cannot take any day for granted. So I begin by first recognizing the generous sponsors whose names are printed in the program. Each sponsor contributed monetary and in-kind donations for the Investiture Week activities. Let's give them a hand. I acknowledge the Investiture Planning Committee for organizing and executing the week's activities and today's ceremony. In particular, I recognize Rashida Workman, committee chair, and honorary chairs Danielle Kimbrough Spikes and Natalie Kelly, who serves on our board of trustees. Please stand. Thank you. And I also ask the entire committee to stand so that we can salute you as well. So members of the steering committee and the planning committee, please stand. Thank you. I give heartfelt thanks to the Presidential Transition Team, who generously lent their time, their talent, their expertise to produce the transition report. That report will guide us as we move forward with our strategic planning. Presidential Transition Team members, please stand. Thank you. I know we have a number of elected officials here today, so now I ask that all elected officials stand so that we can recognize you for the service that you give to our city and to our state. Elected officials. In particular, thank you, State Senator Bobby Singleton, and in his absence because he had to depart, Mayor Walt Maddox, for your welcoming words today. Former board members and former trustees, I appreciate and thank you. Please stand. Any former board members and trustees of Stillman College, thank you very much. There are also representatives from the Presbyterian Church USA here. Thank you for supporting Stillman College from its inception and the vision of Charles Stillman. Your presence is appreciated. And I'd like to thank two new friends, actor Teeman Durrett and actress Melinda Williams. Thank you so much for coming here to share in this day with me. Please stand. Next, I would like to express my deep and sincere gratitude to those of you who have traveled near and far to be with me today. People like my pastor, Reverend Fred Luter, and his wife, Elizabeth. Pastor Luter, as he said, has known David and me for quite some time. He officiated our wedding, and he baptized our children, William and Brooke. He has indeed been a constant spiritual supporter of David and me. Dr. Michael Lomax, what can I say? You've been with me every step of the way. Dr. Walter Kimbrough in his absence, and Dr. Mary Benjamin Sims, who taught me how to be the consummate leader. I appreciate your friendship, your guidance, and your mentoring. Thank you for recognizing my talent as a leader and for giving me opportunities to grow and develop professionally. Presidents, especially my sister president, Dr. Bobby Knight, and the others who are here, and delegates from various colleges and universities, I recognize you and I thank you for sharing this day with me. And most importantly, thank you for the tireless work you are doing to lead your institutions into the future. To my village, Dillard University alumni, my sisters of the Beta Upsilon chapter, Alpha Beta Omega chapter, and Eta Xi Omega chapters of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, moms of Jack and Jill of America, former co-workers of Dillard University, Savannah State University, and the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, New Orleans, Shreveport, Tulsa, and Little Rock family and friend-in-laws, my former students and mentees. I can't tell you how much your presence means to me today. I am fully aware of the sacrifices you made to be here. You could have chosen to remain at home and watch this on live stream, but instead you decided to be present and join little old me in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So I thank and I love all of you. Please stand, my village. To my aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, and sisters, to my mother-in-law, thank you for always being there for me at every graduation and every special occasion. To my mother, Thank you for laying the educational foundation for me early on. Thank you for telling me when I was in high school and I wanted to get a job, that my job was to be a student and to be the best student. Thank you for making sacrifices for my brother, sister, and me after you were widowed with 5 young children. I love you. Last, but certainly not least, I recognize my heartbeats, my children, William and Brooke, who despite my degrees and the titles that I hold, allow me to simply be mom. Thank you for sharing your mother with others. I love you both more than you know. And then, to the fellow who has his head down, my husband David, who for 24 years has been my friend, my advisor, my prayer partner, my critic, my provider, and my rock. Thank you for your constant support. Your selflessness means more to me than you know. Simply saying I love you is not enough, but I do. I realize that I just spent a lot of time on personal thank yous, and I thank you for indulging me. But like I said earlier, I believe in giving people their roses. So thank you again for the indulgence. But that reflection has made me realize that, as the young folks say, and they sometimes wear proudly on their t-shirts, I am indeed my ancestors' wildest dream. My friends and family know that I do not approach a task without researching it. To use military lingo, I conduct reconnaissance. So true to my personality, I conducted reconnaissance on the art of the investiture speech. I learned that an investiture speech is supposed to accomplish several things. Quote, it's to help the audience learn more about the person who was selected, what drives them, what their values are, and to gain a sense of what lies ahead. Let's start with the person who has been installed. Who is Yolanda W. Page? I come from humble beginnings. Like many of our Stillman students, I am a first-generation college student who was Pell eligible. Although neither of my parents attended college, they expected my brother, sister, and I would attend college. This expectation cultivated early on an appreciation for learning. I learned learning so much that, now I'm going to deny this after we complete this ceremony, but that my nerdy self would create tests and take them. Yes, I did do that. I also loved looking up words in the dictionary and reading, some of you may recall this, the Encyclopedia Britannica. That was my favorite pastime. It is safe to say, though, that my parents had little reason to doubt that I would go to college. I participated in the Upward Bound program at Southern University in Shreveport, and that further set me on the path to college. From the Upward Bound program, I traveled south to Louisiana to earn my undergraduate and graduate degrees. You heard me mention faith earlier. Faith drives me. My faith in God is at the core of who I am and what I am. I'm a living witness that He makes all things possible, and I seek His strength and His guidance every day. To borrow words from the gospel singer Richard Smallwood, God is the source of my strength, and He is the strength of my life. Earlier, you heard me use a military reference. Well, that is because my military training shapes my values. Now, I realize for some people, the fact that I served in the military is surprising. But for others, it explains some of my personality quirks and how I view and approach things. I value integrity, I value loyalty, responsibility, and most of all, servant leadership. Countless mentors have also shaped my values and who I am. Just as I have been shaped by many mentors, Stillman has been shaped by many visionaries. In 1874, a group of citizens led by Presbyterian minister Reverend Dr. Charles A. Stillman decided that the way to change this world fundamentally was to extend the opportunity of education to all. So they asked the Presbyterian Church in the United States to establish a training school for black ministers. And in 1876, the school known as Tuscaloosa Institute held its first classes. Since that time, 7 presidents, from the first, Dr. Samuel Birney Hay, to the most recent, Dr. Cynthia Warwick, the institution's first female president, have led Stillman through various stages of growth and success. I am humbled to stand on their shoulders. This brings me to today, April 12th, 2024, where we will officially begin to write the next page of excellence in the storied history of Stillman College. One thing I know for certain is who we are today and what we are made of. Our character, our values will define what we become tomorrow and how that page of excellence is written. First and foremost, Stillman is a place where lives are changed. During the past 10 months, I have had countless chat and chew and learn sessions with alumni and other stakeholders. The most recurring phrase from these conversations has been, and I quote, "Attending Stillman changed my life." This idea was substantiated this week in 2 instances. On Tuesday, I met an alum and former employee who told me that not only did Stillman change her life, but Stillman also gave her life. She was born on this campus when Snedeker Hall was the only hospital in the city that would serve our black citizenry. Yesterday, I had lunch with a student who told me that he transferred to Stillman seeking to find himself, seeking a change, seeking for his better. After a rocky start, he shared, he has found his place at Stillman. Yes, Stillman changes lives. Very on before integration, Stillman created the Tuscaloosa and the West Alabama middle class. If you wanted to go to college, you attended Stillman because there was no other choice. Because of that reality, Stillman's influence is deeply rooted in Tuscaloosa and West Alabama. Dare I say, based upon my experiences of the last 10 months, it is impossible to go anywhere without being touched by a Stillmanite. Stillmanites are indeed everywhere. They are in classrooms, they are in boardrooms, they are in courtrooms, and they are not just shaping and building Tuscaloosa. They are movers and shakers in Atlanta, Birmingham, Dallas, Houston, Southern California, and Washington, D.C. Several years ago, Evolution magazine published an article titled, "Seeing Your University as a Community Institution." The article's premise was that if colleges and universities are going to thrive and remain relevant, they must think of themselves as members of their community. Furthermore, the article called for institutions to renew their commitment to serving their communities and act as engaged members of those communities to address challenges. In the next page of Excellence of Stillman's history, we will renew our commitment to the West Tuscaloosa community. We will be the community's college. Now, I didn't say a community college, but we will be the community's college. Stillman will be the conduit that brings together educational entities and nonprofits to meet the needs of West Tuscaloosa and West Alabama. We have already started this work. In February, we partnered, thanks to our friends at the Alabama Department of Labor, WBRC-TV, and the Governor's Office of Minority Affairs to host the Putting Alabama to Work Job Fair. It was the first time the fair was hosted in West Tuscaloosa. Hundreds of West Tuscaloosa residents interacted with employers and left with a job. That is our commitment as the institution of the community. Later in February, we partnered with Visit Tuscaloosa to host the 2024 Gulf Coast Athletic Conference men's and women's basketball tournament. Not only did Stillman College bring the first ever college basketball tournament to West Tuscaloosa, but little old Stillman had an approximately $800,000 economic impact on the city. We are indeed the community's college. As another growth opportunity for Stillman in West Tuscaloosa, we will collaborate with established community leaders and partners to offer education to all ages, from the child whose parents want her to have a jump start, to the child whose parent encourages him to dream big, to the adult who wants to complete a degree or who wants a certification for advancement. Stillman College will be the bridge, or dare I say, the springboard that allows individuals to make a generational change for not only their family, but for the community too. That is our call. For the past few months, those of you in higher education have been watching the debacle of the FAFSA saga unfold. Although it was redesigned to be simpler, the process has been nothing short of simple. While the FAFSA changes were meant to improve access, it has, in fact, impeded access. And that hurts our community more than it does anyone else. Accessibility and affordability have been the hallmarks of a Stillman education. And despite what is going on with the FAFSA, it will continue to be so. So that money, or the lack of it, is not a hindrance to our students, we will explore the feasibility of adopting innovative programs such as the Work College model to improve financial accessibility for our students. The Work College model is a unique way of melding work, learning, and service, where learning is paramount and work enhances and supports the educational program. We will continue to provide access to students from the Black Belt communities, but we will also ensure that we are recruiting students from other parts of the state, the region, and the nation. We will become international in our reach, our scope, and our goals. Although we are an HBCU, we will iterate that we are accessible to students of any background, any disability. We will expand our access to LGBTQ students. We will expand our access to students in the Caribbean, to the students in Africa. We will iterate our Presbyterian roots and be accessible to those Presbyterian families who seek a college with a Presbyterian connection. I realize that recruiting and enrolling students is not enough. Ultimately, we must retain and graduate the students that we enroll. Therefore, We will do this by ensuring that their Stillman educational experience is top tier. The training our students receive will be globally relevant and competitive. Our students will learn the skills to successfully navigate an artificial intelligence world. Yes, it's here to stay, and there is no way of getting around it. With partnerships like the one we recently established with Inroads, our students will be workforce ready. Our students will be ready and prepared to go out into the world to make a difference. Every student at Stillman who desires an internship or externship opportunity will have the ability to do so. Finally, our students will be encouraged to lead. They will learn to acknowledge that sometimes, although they are leaders and we have cultivated them to be leaders, that sometimes you allow yourselves to be led. It's a balancing act, and Stillman, through various initiatives and blue ribbon programs, will teach them how to do both. Yes, the next page of excellence in Stillman's history includes Stillman being recognized as a regionally and nationally competitive college. No longer will folks confuse us with the other HBCU that starts with an S and ends with an N and is located in Atlanta, but they will realize that the pursuit of excellence often associated with that college is the same excellence that resides at Stillman College. We will accomplish this by investing in our faculty, investing in our staff, investing in our facilities, and investing in our programs. Stillman deserves and demands that we do this. This is the next page of excellence in our history. Friends, faculty, staff, and students, alumni. To move the needle on the things I just described, I need you to join me in writing this next page of excellence. Your commitment is needed. Your support is needed. But most of all, and I know you knew it was coming, your resources are needed. In the Presidential Transition Report, we discuss resources as one of the 3 R's that is foundational to Stillman's success. Well, friends, those resources are needed now more than ever. And they are needed not only to ensure that we write the next page of excellence in Stillman's history, but so that we raise the standard while doing so. Our students, our faculty, and our staff deserve that commitment from Mother Stillman. And it will take you to help us to take Stillman to greater heights of excellence. Our collective commitment and passion has the power to transform Stillman College. Our collective commitment and passion has the power to make Stillman the creme de la creme among HBCUs. This, my friends, is how we write the next page of excellence in Stillman's history. So when that ask comes, and it will come soon, I challenge each of you to accept that clarion call, to hold true to her ideals and values, to share with me and with Mother Stillman as we lead this college and community into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, colleagues, and Stillmanites, today, April 12, 2024, let us embrace our unique gifts and talents and let them illuminate the world around us. Let us agree that together we will make a difference. We will make a new Stillman. We will continue to be excellence. Let us agree that we will empower change, and let us agree that we will leave a lasting impact on our campus, our community, and beyond. Today, I humbly and sincerely ask that you stand with me. Stand. So that we can collectively write the next page of excellence in Stillman's history. Hail, oh hail, Stillman. Thank you.